Today, we're diving into a story that has taken Europe by surprise and pushed governments, analysts, and observers into urgent discussions. Denmark, a country often seen as stable, predictable, and quietly influential, has suddenly taken a sharp turn in a direction no one saw coming. This new shift is not just a national adjustment, but a move that has disrupted European expectations and raised questions about what the future of the continent might look like. Many are calling it Denmark's radical new direction, and Europe, quite frankly, seems caught off guard. For decades, Denmark has maintained a reputation for consistency, balancing innovation with caution, and often serving as a bridge between progressive ideals and practical governance. But this new approach seems to break from convention. It signals a deeper transformation within Denmark's political thinking, economic strategies, and societal priorities. What makes the shift truly shocking is not just the change itself, but the speed at which it has happened and the boldness with which leaders are defending it. Countries across Europe are watching closely, trying to analyze what this means for alliances, cooperation, and regional stability. Many experts suggest that the real story here lies not in a single decision or policy, but in a growing pattern that reveals Denmark's desire for more autonomy in areas where it once moved in sync with Europe. Others argue that Denmark has simply reached a point where internal pressures, global uncertainty, and shifting public sentiment have forced it to redefine its position. The question that now dominates discussions is whether this change strengthens Denmark's future or risks its long-standing partnerships. To understand how Europe reached this moment of surprise, it's important to step back and look at the roots of Denmark's transformation. Over the past few years, the country has been navigating economic challenges, social debates, demographic realities, and global geopolitical shifts. While Denmark has always been proactive in addressing its issues, these recent pressures seem to have prompted a more drastic and unconventional response. Instead of incremental adjustments, Denmark has chosen a bold reset, signaling that small steps are no longer enough for the challenges ahead. This new direction has also sparked a wave of reactions inside Denmark itself. Supporters believe the country is finally taking control of its destiny and refusing to be limited by outdated frameworks. They argue that the global landscape is changing so quickly that old approaches cannot guarantee stability or success. On the other hand, critics worry that Denmark may be isolating itself or setting itself on a path that could clash with its allies. This internal division reflects a broader debate happening across Europe, where countries face similar dilemmas but often lack the political courage to break from established systems. What's even more interesting is how this shift has exposed Europe's assumptions about Denmark. For years, European institutions and neighboring countries relied on Denmark's predictability. They expected Denmark to move in alignment with collective decisions and support regional consensus. But now, with Denmark choosing a more independent path, Europe is forced to rethink its expectations. This reevaluation has created tension in some areas and curiosity in others. Some countries quietly admire Denmark's boldness, while others fear the consequences. The European Union especially finds itself in a delicate situation. On one hand, the EU values unity and coordinated strategy. On the other hand, member states still retain the right to reshape their policies according to national needs. Denmark's decision challenges the balance between integration and independence, raising questions about how flexible the EU can be in the face of changing national priorities. Can Europe remain cohesive when one of its key members is openly charting its own direction? A major factor in this unfolding story is the shift in Denmark's public mindset. For years, Danish voters supported policies that aligned with European goals, but recent surveys suggest a growing desire for stronger national control, tighter regulations, and a redefined role on the global stage. This sentiment has empowered Denmark's leaders to take bold steps, arguing that they are responding to the will of the people. It also reflects a wider trend across Europe, where citizens increasingly question long-standing agreements and want more say in how their countries navigate crises. As Denmark implements its new strategy, Europe is monitoring every move. The reaction ranges from cautious optimism to genuine alarm. Analysts warn that if Denmark's approach proves successful, other nations may follow, leading to a ripple effect that could reshape Europe's power dynamics. If it fails, however, Denmark risks facing internal backlash and diminished influence in European decision-making. Either way, the stakes are high, and the outcome will set an important precedent. There are also significant economic implications. Denmark plays a vital role in European trade, energy cooperation, technology development, and regional security. Any major shift in its policies could alter supply chains, investment patterns, and regulatory cooperation. Businesses across Europe are already evaluating what these changes mean for long-term partnerships. Multinational companies are seeking clarity as they assess whether Denmark remains a stable environment for investment or whether uncertainty could affect future planning. Another key aspect of Denmark's new direction involves security and defense. Europe is currently facing multiple geopolitical pressures, and unity has been essential in addressing these challenges. Denmark's shift could either introduce innovative solutions or disrupt coordinated strategies. Some defense experts believe Denmark may be preparing for a more assertive role, investing in new capabilities and strengthening alliances outside traditional frameworks. Others believe Denmark could be distancing itself from coordinated European defense efforts, potentially creating gaps in regional preparedness. Energy policy is another area where Denmark's choices are drawing attention. Known for its leadership in clean energy and sustainable innovation, Denmark has long been a model for Europe. But recent decisions suggest a deeper restructuring of its energy strategy, creating both opportunities and uncertainties. If Denmark succeeds in reinventing its energy model, it could set a powerful example for climate policy in Europe. If complications arise, however, Europe's broader climate goals may face setbacks. Social policy has also been reshaped under this new direction. Denmark is reconsidering its approach to integration, welfare systems, and demographic challenges. These shifts have sparked debates across Europe, especially in countries facing similar issues. Supporters argue that Denmark is trying to protect its social fabric and secure long-term stability. Critics fear the changes may create barriers, reduce inclusivity, or clash with European values. The conversation has become a mirror for other countries, exposing their own struggles and uncertainties. One of the reasons Europe is so caught off guard is the timing. The continent is already dealing with economic pressures, political fragmentation, rapid technological transformation, and unpredictable global events. In such a moment, Denmark's sudden pivot adds another layer of complexity. Some European officials privately express frustration, saying the move disrupts coordinated planning. Others acknowledge that Europe's structure must adapt to a world where nations are increasingly determined to redefine themselves. The most fascinating part of this shift is that Denmark is not acting recklessly. Instead, the country appears to be following a carefully calculated strategy. The message Denmark is sending is clear. The world has changed, and traditional models can no longer guarantee stability. Denmark seems to be preparing for a future where flexibility, autonomy, and innovation may matter more than uniformity. This perspective challenges Europe to rethink its foundational assumptions and evaluate whether its systems are still equipped for modern challenges. As these developments continue, the global community is also watching. Denmark's reputation as a progressive, forward-thinking nation means its moves carry weight far beyond Europe. Countries outside the region are studying Denmark's actions, assessing whether similar shifts may be necessary in their own contexts. Some see Denmark as a bold pioneer, while others view the transformation with caution. Regardless of opinion, Denmark has captured global attention and sparked conversations that extend well beyond European borders. In the coming months, the impact of Denmark's decisions will become clearer. Europe will need to determine how to respond, whether through adaptation, negotiation, or new forms of cooperation. Denmark will face the challenge of balancing its new direction with the realities of regional interdependence. Citizens will continue to shape the narrative through public debate, voting behavior, and civic engagement. The outcome of all these interactions will define the next chapter of European politics. For now, one thing is certain: Europe did not expect this. Denmark's radical new direction has disrupted assumptions, reshaped discussions, and forced a region known for gradual change to confront a moment of sudden transformation. Whether this leads to conflict, innovation, or reinvention remains to be seen. But the significance of this moment cannot be overstated. Denmark has chosen a path that demands attention, analysis, and reflection. As we continue to follow this evolving story, it's important to recognize that change is rarely simple. Denmark's decisions reflect a complex mix of hopes, fears, challenges, and opportunities. Europe's response will shape not only political relationships, but also the future identity of the continent. This moment offers a powerful reminder that even the most stable nations can transform in ways that surprise the world. Thank you for watching, and if you want more deep explanations like this, make sure to stay connected to the channel. This is a story still unfolding, and we'll be here to explore every chapter with you.